So welcome, Bojan, not just to the stream, but to Oktagon. We're very excited to have you, my friend. How excited are you to be part of this?
I'm very excited to be part of this. I actually have some really good memories from visiting Czech Republic in the past, and I already fought there in 2013, I believe. And yeah, I always like to come back. I know and I love the fact that Czech fans and Slovakian fans are very into fighting sports, and yeah, I'm super excited to be part of it again.
Let me ask you, how many fights have you signed with Oktagon? How many times are we going to be excited to see you step in the cage?
Well, three for sure. You see, yeah,
That's
three
that's
for
exciting.
sure. We'll see. We'll see what comes from there.
You mentioned the Czech and the Slovak fans being very into fighting. They're also, even from my experience joining Octagon, they're very good on social media. Have you had lots of messages? What sort of stuff have you had come towards you?
I did, and that's been really something that made me really happy. That fans from Czech Republic and from Slovakia are sending me messages every day, just saying welcome to Octagon. We're very excited to see your fight, and that's kind of making me even more excited. Also, it's motivating me more to train harder, and when I come, I want to be ready 100% to put on a show for them.
One of the fights you've had in your career, and I wondered if it was in your head when the Czech fans started contacting you. You have a win over Yuri Prohachka back in 2012. That's correct, right?
Yes.
In fact, I mean that's a. Have you had any messages about that? What do you think about his rise to fame as well as over the last few years?
I'm very. I watched an interview with him the other day, uh, with friend of mine from Austria, and he also reminded him about that fight, and of course, nobody knew about that fight until a couple months ago, until Yuri didn't make it to the big stage in UFC. Uh, that fight was uh, 2012. I think his record at the time was 4-0, and my record was 6-1. So we were both very young and unexperienced. I had like three more fights than him, so I was a little bit more experienced, and I guess that helped me uh, to just come with the right mindset into that fight, and yeah, I just went at him from like first in the first round, and I was able to finish that fight in the first round, which yeah, at that time was not very big victory for me. But now that everybody's like that, Yuri made it, that he's so good right now. Everybody's talking about it. But I'm very happy for him. I followed his career not just in UFC. I followed his career when he was fighting in Japan. He fight couple of people that I know and that I've been training with, like King Mo and couple other guys, and he showed that he grew into a great fighter, and that's why when he was fighting his first fight in UFC, I told all my friends that I was watching the fights. I was like, "Hey guys, you should pay attention about this guy. He's really good." And they're like, "Who this guy is? Who this guy is? Like we never heard of him." Uh, but then I told them that I fought him back in 2012, and that I see that he's undefeated for 5 or 6 years now. He's on a long winning streak. He's very confident. His technique is very unusual and unorthodox, and it's hard for people uh, to make a fight plan against him. Uh, so yeah,
It's one of I think your fight had more of an influence on him than you think as well, because I found this on your social media. This is you with the samurai haircut, so maybe Yuri is
you
watching
think, you
you as well.
think that influenced on him?
So look, we're excited to have you here. We're very excited. Your debut fight's going to be June 19th, 3-fight deal. What's your ambitions with Oktagon? What do you think of the promotion? And have you got your sights set on making a charge for the belt?
Well, Brian, to be honest, I heard all great things about Octagon so far. We signed a 3-fight deal. I don't know. Uh, I don't want to pretty much say anything until I get there, and then until I meet the people from promotion and experience, and get the live experience for my first fight. Then we can talk about that after. I don't have my ambition is definitely for whatever promotion I fight for. I'm trying to compete with the best, uh, and if possible, become the best. And so fight for a belt, and win the belt. So yeah, I don't know. Is it 3-fight deal gonna be enough for me to come to the fight to challenge the belt and win the belt? But I'm gonna do my best to do that. So we'll see.
And you're fighting in the welterweight division, which is one of Octagon's most established, deepest divisions as well. Did you watch the title fight on the last show, Octagon 24?
I didn't watch the whole fight, but I followed the highlights, and I followed the whole fight week, like what's happening, building up to the fight, and the whole hype. And I really liked what I saw. I think Octagon is doing amazing things, promotion wise, to advertise their fights and their fighters. Uh, and yeah, I'm very excited to become part of it.
I'm excited for you to meet everyone as well because it is like a family there. They're great people, and the stuff they put behind the fighters, like you see the promos, is absolutely fantastic. So you'll get a taste of that. Your first opponent is also debuting, Emmanuel Dawa. Have you managed to find any tape? And there's very limited amounts of footage on the internet of him. Have you got any that you've seen, or what your thoughts on this for your first test?
Well, luckily, my manager, Daniel Rubenstein, has a really good scouts, and I was able to find the latest uh, the latest fights, at least 3 or 4 latest fights of him. Uh, he's very old. I would also say he's very unusual fighter. He has a very strange fight style. He likes to switch guards. Uh, he he doesn't mind like changing levels and going to the ground. Uh, he's also I know that he's a French or Belgium kickboxing champion. So yeah, very tricky. Uh, I've been looking forward to this fight because through every fight, through every what I like the most about MMA is that every fighter brings a different challenge, brings a different looks, and you know, uh, I like that I have to focus and kind of break down and try to solve the puzzle. So he's definitely seemed like a tricky puzzle, and that's why I'm very motivated to train. As I said, to train hard and to come and try to solve the puzzle and win the fight.
I think I need to give Daniel Rubenstein a call as well because I could only find 1 or 2 fights. I think Rubenstein is one of these people. He's probably got a camera in my kitchen somewhere, so he can tell you what I had for lunch. That's
I
that's. Let's talk about your team as well because born and bred in Serbia, but now you find yourself in the hills, the mountains of Colorado for fighting for an elevation fight team. What's that like? How did that happen? How does a young man from Serbia end up in the mountains like that?
Oh my God. Well, that story could definitely take a couple hours, but I'll try to cut it short. So my first fight in the United States was in 2011, and for promotion called Ring of Fire. And prior to that, actually, that's how I got into MMA. In Serbia, there was a show called Road to the Ring of Fire. It was a reality show, kind of similar to UFC, The Ultimate Fighter. And so it was 18 fighters from Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia, and Montenegro. And we were competing, fighting every weekend. We had eliminations. And the winner of the show was supposed to go to United States and compete at the Ring of Fire. And I was, I guess, lucky enough to win that show, and that's how I earned my first fight in United States, and that was in Denver, Colorado. Uh, but at the time for that fight, I decided to get ready in American Top Team in Florida, and so 4 weeks before that fight, I went to Florida. I was training there. I flew from Florida to Denver, and I won my fight. I finished the fight in a minute and a half. And when I went back to Florida, my coaches asked me if I'm interested to join American Top Team and sign a contract with them. At the time, I was still going to university in Serbia, so I told them that I have to go back and like solve my situation with the university, and then I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do. So I went back to Serbia. I put my school kind of on hold and went to United States and moved to Florida and started to train there. And then I was part of American Top Team for 3 years. And then in 2014, I got called again from Colorado to come and compete for organization RFA, which is now LFA, also very big promotion. And I came, I competed, I met some coaches and training, uh, the guys who are my coaches now and my training partners, and we made a really good connection. They invited me to come and train a couple of weeks for my next fight camp, and I decided to do that. I came, I spent here 7 weeks. I fought and I won my fight, and I just loved the camaraderie, as you said. Like I felt like I have family around me. Everybody were so helpful. Whatever I needed, a car, a place to stay, groceries, everybody were like so friendly and so helpful. I just knew that I want to be part of that team. So I went back to Florida, packed my suitcases, put them in a car, and I drove 3 days from my to Colorado, and I'm here since then.
Wow. And that team is just a phenomenal team, phenomenal facilities. You look at Leicester Bowling, you've got amazing fighters all around you. One in particular, I think is almost like an unsung hero, a legend, Neil Magny. And I know you went to Fight Island with Neil. What's it like training with somebody like that, and alongside the other monsters like Drew Dober and people like that at your team?
Well, so you see, when I came to train that first time in Denver, I came to help Neil Magny and Brandon Thatch at the time to prepare for their UFC fights and for my RFA fight. But at that time, Neil Magny was not very famous. He also moved to Colorado from Chicago, and he was not a very big name. And Brandon Thatch at the time was a huge star. He was a local MMA hero. He also he was a champion in the local MMA promotion. Then went to UFC and won his first two fights in UFC with a knockout. He was the biggest star in the team. And then after that fight, after that UFC, Neil went on a 7 fight winning streak, and Brandon went on a 4 fight losing streak. So he lost a contract with UFC, and Neil just going up.
Yeah.
And yeah, Neil is one of my best teammates. As you mentioned, I went with him to Fight Island in January, and I went for his last fight in Vegas against Jeff Neal. And also, Neil is gonna come with me to Oktagon.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so Neil is gonna be my cornerman in Oktagon, in my first Oktagon fight.
How
Uh,
exciting.
yeah. So we have great coaches. We have, I think, 7 coaches on a team right now. 4 black belts, then couple of really legit kickboxing and Muay Thai coaches. So it's been a real blessing that I was, you know, that I had an open mind to accept their invitation and come here, uh, and then decide to move here. I would consider that as one of the most important events in my career and in life too.
So you've been there for quite a while now. What would you say is the biggest growth you've had, especially within your MMA game? I know you got your brown belt in last August for jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
What else do you think? I'm stalking you, mate. I'm stalking you. Where do you think the biggest growth areas have been? What have the team given you most?
I would say that I grew in every aspect of MMA a lot because they're just so there's such a big variety of coaches and training partners. We also have got, because last couple of years we grew as a team, and last year we got awarded as a team of the year in MMA. Uh, Alistair Overeem joined our team, and then a couple other big names, and people just start like uh, let's say wrestlers and jiu-jitsu fighters from all over the United States. They come to train in our gym for a couple of weeks, and I always trying to learn something from them, and then also to use experienced guys as Neil Magny to learn something from them too. So yeah, as you said, I got brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and I also I'm planning after this fight to do a couple jiu-jitsu tournaments and maybe Pan Americans IBJJF tournament. Uh, Jiu-jitsu, I also started teaching. I became one of the coaches at Eastern Training Center for jiu-jitsu, and I have a bunch of students who competed last weekend at a grappling industries tournament and did great. So yeah, I would say every aspect of my game grew dramatically, but jiu-jitsu is probably something that I would separate and say that like that I grew into jiu-jitsu community here because it's so big, and jiu-jitsu again, it's a sport that involves a lot of thinking and a lot of mind and also strength too, but I think that's something that I will do rest of my life until I die pretty much. Yeah, I just don't see myself stopping in training jiu-jitsu.
You talk about a few of the names that have come to Colorado to train at your facilities and to get some experience. One of the ones that caught my eye was Justin Gaethje. He came down, or he trains close to you. And did you get to get any rounds in with Gaethje?
Yeah, I did. I know actually, my first fight in United States in 2011. That same night, Justin Gaethje did his MMA debut. That same
Wow.
on the same event. And he won by armbar slam. The guy
Wow.
in an armbar, and he lift him up and like smack him on the ground. Uh, he was a wrestler. He was a really good wrestler at that point. He came from. He's actually from. I think he was born in Arizona, but he went to college in Colorado, to uh, Northern Colorado University, and he graduated here and then decided to stay here and train with Trevor Whitman, and yeah, that's how he uh, joined our team a couple of years ago, and now he's a very essential part of it.
That's excellent. How exciting. We've talked about Colorado, the journey abroad. Your last two fights, though, have been back in Serbia. So how's that returning to where you began it all?
Well, it was a very good feeling. Definitely to fight in my hometown, although it was during COVID and there was no crowd. Actually, my family was there. The crowd was very limited. I think there was only 50 or 100 people allowed in arena. So I managed to squeeze in my parents, which was very important for me. My parents, I don't think they ever missed a fight at least on a European ground. They've been with me along the way through my whole career, and it means a lot to me when they come to support me. So that was a great experience to go back. Also the promotion SBC that I fight for back home. Uh, I think they started a couple years ago when I was already in UFC, and in couple years they grew immensely, and they became one of the biggest organizations in at least in that area, in Serbia, Croatia, like in the Balkans. I think a lot of people know for them. They also signed a bunch of people with UFC. A lot of people from their promotion went into UFC. So it was a big deal for me to go back and fight in front of my crowd, and yeah, it was a long journey too. So uh, yeah.
And to win a belt as well. That must be pretty special as well in front of your friends and family.
Yeah.
What was it like? What was it like growing up in Serbia? Because on your the information info I've seen, you began judo at 10 years old. Was that just? Is there martial arts in your family? Does your brother do it? Does anyone in your family lead you into martial arts?
My dad was a policeman when I was very young. I think, and when he went to police academy, he had to train karate and judo. Uh, and then so the gym where I was training was in the police station in my hometown. Um, and yeah, by the same coach that was coaching my dad. So that's how it started. But I just wanted to, when I was growing up, I was very like high energy kid. I like to, I didn't, I would not say that I like to fight, but somehow I was always ending up in some kind of fights. Uh, and, and people, I guess kids my age like to bully me for some reason. I was not the biggest and strongest kid in my generation. So if somebody wanted to prove themselves or show how they're strong, they would always pick me to like beat me up. And then since I was young, I had to learn how to defend myself. And yeah, I don't know, I don't even know how it started, but me and my older brother started training judo, and I was training 3 or 4 years, and then I started going to high school, and then I started, you know, I was all over the place. I was at the same time training judo. I was riding a skateboard, and I was competing, uh, like in driving skateboard on the streets. Then I was doing break dancing. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I was just all over the place. Like I was just very. I would say I was very interested kid. Like anything I see that I like, oh, I want to try this. I was also playing basketball and volleyball for my high school team. Um, I was playing soccer my whole childhood. I stopped training soccer when I started judo. So I switched. I gave up soccer so I can train judo. So I was just trying to find myself in all these sports, in all these hobbies, and then when I was senior year in high school, I was kind of a little crazy. And my friend told me, "Hey, my older brother is opening a gym, kickboxing and Muay Thai gym. You should join and change your lifestyle because you're gonna end up in trouble if you keep doing what you're doing right now." And I decided to accept his invitation, and here I am talking with
Do you
you.
still? Yeah, it is. Lucky you. Do
Yeah,
you still know that guy? The person who
yeah,
led you to the gym?
yeah. He actually, that same friend who invited me to come and join his brother's gym. Now he owns that gym, and every time
Wow.
I go back to Serbia, I go and train with him. He holds me
Wow.
there's a couple of sessions on Instagram where I'm hitting mitts with him. He's really good coach, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And that guy changed your life, quite
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, and every time I have opportunity to mention his name, and especially back home when people are interviewing me and asking me how I started, I always use kind of opportunity to say how grateful I am to, I believe that, I believe in God. I go to church every Sunday, and I'm thankful, like the way that my career and my journey goes. I had some ups and downs, but I believe that uh, that's at least my philosophy, that God would never give us a cross that we're not able to carry up the mountain. So I believe that God gave me this friend who invited me and helped me find my find my path.
Wow, that's amazing, that story. So that's just nuts as well to think at that age, you don't know where you would have ended up, but this has now led you to a life where you fly around the world, you do what you love, you train.
Exactly.
It's amazing, amazing. So look, we've talked about your fights, your background. We've not actually talked about your physical background though, mate, because there's a mask above your head, which has caught my eye. And you told me before the interview that this is the story. So I need to know. Show me the mask and let me know what goes on.
So this mask is from Beijing, China. In 2018, yeah, I think it was 2018. Uh, I had two of my teammates fighting in UFC in Beijing, Curtis Blades and Alistair Overeem. So me and my Muay Thai coach decided to just fly there and support them. So while being in Beijing, we went to a silk market. I think that's one of the biggest like open markets in the world, and so I went into this store and I saw this mask, and I really liked it. Well, actually, let me tell this first. On our way to Silk Market, they told us that over there you have to bargain for the goods you want to buy, and they told me it's a really good bargain if whatever price they give you, that you should like try to give them like one third of the price, and then if you end up paying kind of half of the price, that's good bargain.
Okay,
uh
wow.
so she tells me the price, and I think the price was like 120 euros, and I'm like, I just didn't plan to spend that much money. I wanted to buy something, something for maybe like 20, 30 euros, and I was like, oh no way. I just turned and started going on an exit, and she's like, no, 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 no. And well, she didn't know how to speak English, so she takes the calculator and she tells me, put your price, and I put 10 euros, which is like a lot less. It's not one third of the price. One
12
third of
times less.
one third of the price would be $40, 40
Yeah.
euros. So I give her 10, and she gets mad. She's like, no, 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 not that way. Put your price. Put your price. And I was like, that's my price. I don't want to give. I don't want to spend more than that. She's like, no, no, please put your price. And I put 15. And she's like, no, no, no. And she's still mad. And I'm like, I don't want to spend more money. And I think she took the calculator and put 20, and I put 18, and and I and I think I bought it for 18. I think that's
Wow.
how much I spent. Uh, but it was just a great experience over there, and I really liked it. It was a very nice addition to my room.
And that's a good 18 euros worth. 120, I'd have been quite scared for it. I'd have wanted a full wall of mask for 120.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I kind of, I don't know. I was really, I didn't want to offend her, but I just wanted to like let her know from beginning that I'm not trying to spend that much money. Um, Yeah.
But
My friends bought a couple of Montclair
yeah,
jackets.
yeah.
They're 1,600 euros. I think they bought them for like 300 or 400, something like that. Yeah.
And you came back with an 18 euro mask. That's...
I think I bought that, and I bought a couple of just like a keychain for my friends and for my brother.
So I'll let the souvenir stores in the Czech Republic know they're not going to retire on Bojan coming over for this one.
I work really hard to make my money. I could say I bleed to make my money.
Literally.
So I'm not spending it that easy.
Oh, good. Listen, June 19th, that is your debut. We're very excited to have you. We're looking forward to this fight against Emmanuel Dawa. You're coming to the Czech Republic. You're returning. Any message for the Slovakian fans, for the Czech Republic fans before you come back?
Just stay tuned in. I'm bringing all my love and all my training, all my motivation for you guys. And I'm excited to step in Octagon cage and do something special for you guys.
Fantastic. Well, listen, I'm going to let you get back to your day back in Colorado, back up the mountains, do some bow hunting maybe a bit later.
That's in August, not until August.
Okay, just some practice then. There you go. But listen, absolute pleasure to talk to you, my friend. Can't wait to have you over. You can tune in Oktagon.tv. That's on pay-per-view to witness this man make his debut against Emmanuel Dawa. Thank you very much, buddy. I'll speak to you soon, okay?
Thank you, of course. Yeah. See you soon.